the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Former NPA rebel surrenders with explosives in Oriental Mindoro. Army troops and LGU Quezon recover landslide victims in Bukidnon after 6-day operation. Over 880 human bone fragments found in Taal Lake amid search for missing Sabongeros. DILG reports 99% drop in prank calls following unified 911 system upgrade.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is a Friday, October 24, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay, here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, a 34-year-old former New People's Army rebel voluntarily surrendered to the 403rd Infantry Battalion Maneuver Company Regional Mobile Force Battalion in Barangay Cabalwa, Mansalay Oriental, Mindoro. Police Regional Office Mimaropa Director Brigadier General Jovencio Badua Jr. reported that Ka journey yielded an improvised explosive device and anti-personnel mine. The surrender was made possible through the joint efforts of police, military, and intelligence units in the region. Kadzorni is now under debriefing and will be assisted for enrollment in the Enhanced Comprehensive and Local Integration Program.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Troops from the 89th Infantry Battalion and Bravo Company 72nd Infantry Battalion joined the local government unit of Quezon Bukidnon in responding to a landslide at Sitio Kipolot, Barangay Palacapao. After 6 days of continuous search efforts, responders recovered the remains of Mr. Ali Ubatay Sr. and Mrs. Thelma Ubatay yesterday. The joint operation involved the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, Philippine National Police, Bureau of Fire Protection, engineering units, and search and rescue K9 teams from the 10th Infantry Division and 403rd Infantry Brigade. The coordinated response showcased the strong partnership between the Philippine Army and local authorities in disaster relief and rescue operations.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear from Jai about Army engineers strengthen school safety through partnership with Kapuknasan Elementary.
Rofh, the 565th Engineer Battalion, and Kapuknasan Elementary School formalized their collaboration through a memorandum of partnership agreement and the turnover of a newly built school gate and enhanced fence at Milawar, Camarines Sur. The initiative highlights the Army engineers' dedication to education and community development. The project aims to ensure a safer, more secure, and supportive environment for students and teachers. This partnership highlights the Philippine Army's continued commitment to nation building through education and civic engagement. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines confirmed that it has not yet received an official request from the Department of Education to deploy its engineering corps for classroom construction. AFP Public Affairs Chief Colonel Sir Trinidad said the military remains ready to assist the government projects when officially directed. He added that AFP engineering units are currently being restructured into combat engineer units to enhance territorial defense capabilities. The statement comes as the government works to accelerate classroom construction following President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive for closer coordination among Department of Public Works and Highways, DepEd, and local government units.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Department of Justice reported that 981 bone fragments, including 887 confirmed human skeletal remains, were recovered from Taal Lake between July 10 and October 12 during the search for the missing cockfight enthusiast or sabongeros. DOJ spokesperson Polo Martinez said 3 sets of remains comprising 264 bones were among those found, though identification through DNA testing has yet to be completed. He added that 33 reference DNA samples have been collected from families to aid in the comparison process. Despite pending DNA results, the DOJ said the murder case filed by the victims' families could proceed to trial if existing evidence is deemed sufficient.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Gina about 5th RCDG awards cash incentives to outstanding Bicol University ROTC cadets.
Yes, Rofh, the 5th Regional Community Defense Group Reserve Command, Philippine Army, awarded 12,000 cash incentives each to 6 outstanding Advanced Reserve Officers Training Corps cadets from Bicol University at Camp Simeon A. Ola, Legazpi City. The cadets qualified under the Philippine Army's Cash Incentive Program for their exemplary academic performance and commitment to ROTC excellence. Each recipient also successfully passed the Armed Forces of the Philippine Service Aptitude Test, one of the program's key requirements. The initiative highlights the Army's continued support in promoting excellence, discipline, and patriotism among ROTC cadets nationwide. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD National News.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government announced that prank and fraudulent calls to the Unified 911 hotline have plummeted from 60% in 2024 to just 0.17% this year, following major system upgrades in September. The improved system handled over 872,000 legitimate calls with a 98.62% efficiency rate, aided by new geolocation tracking and caller verification features. The Philippine National Police also recorded a 400% surge in legitimate emergency calls requesting assistance. DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla lauded the milestone as a testament to the government's commitment in building a faster, smarter, and more responsive emergency service for all Filipinos.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. vowed to keep breaking ground at the administration's housing project to ensure a home for every Filipino. During the opening of the National Housing Expo 2025 in Pasay City, he highlighted the government's efforts to expand housing programs, streamline process, and deepen support for the country's housing sector. He said that a house is not just a structure, but is in the home where one's character is first formed and where dreams are built. The president noted the urgent need to expand and accelerate housing initiatives to ensure a stable, affordable, and secure home for all.
Armed Forces Radio.
And some information about Army reservists help repack relief goods for Typhoon Ramil victims in Capiz.
Good day everyone. Colonel Bernard Dragus, commander of the 10th Regional Community Defense Group, paid a courtesy visit to Colonel Patricio Tomales, commander of the 9th RCDG at Kuta Dao, Pagadian City, to bolster collaboration between the units. The meeting focused on improving coordination in training, mobilization, and management of the reserve force to support the Philippine Army's transition towards external defense cooperations. Both commanders emphasized strengthening reservist education and community defense capabilities to complement national defense priorities. The visit reinforced unity and cooperation between 9 RCDG and 10th RCDG in building a mission-ready and dependable reserve force. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Ferdy, about your report about Army Reserve Commanders strengthen coordination for enhanced defense readiness.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, Acting Chief Justice Marvic Leonen said that the judiciary is maintaining its impartial stance while preparing to receive cases expected to stem from ongoing investigations by the Office of the Ombudsman. Leonen said that judiciary has to remain impartial as they will have to receive the evidence and are hoping that the cases are built up properly. He added that the Ombudsman and authorities should be able to discover, maintain, preserve, and present the evidence in the proper way and at the proper time. The Acting Chief Justice also disclosed that the Supreme Court is reviewing several infrastructure projects related to halls of justice that were funded and built outside the judiciary's own budget.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police has launched intensified operations against unauthorized fireworks manufacturers. This came after the tragic explosion at a firework factory in Norzagaray, Bulacan that killed 2 people. PNP Acting Chief Police Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. reminded the factory owners to obey the law and prioritize safety before profit. He also warned that the PNP will not hesitate to take legal action against the violators who put lives at risk. Last Wednesday, 2 people, including a minor, were killed in an explosion at a fireworks factory in Barangay Partida in Norzagaray.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear the report of Marian about AFP ranks among top 10 best employers in the Philippines for 2026.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines earned a spot among the top 10 best employers in the Philippines for 2026 as recognized by the Philippine Daily Inquirer and Statista. The ranking, based on nationwide employee surveys, measured satisfaction, workplace culture, and willingness to recommend employers. The AFP's rise from its previous position highlights its dedication in valuing personal welfare while fulfilling its mission of national defense. This recognition reflects the success of the AFP transformation roadmap in building a credible, professional, and people-centered military organization. This is Marian reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Marian.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Bureau of Corrections has appealed to the Senate to double the daily medical allowance for persons deprived of liberty from 15 pesos to 30 pesos each. Bucor Director General Gregorio Pio Catapan Jr. made the appeal to Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, during deliberations on the proposed 2026 budget of the Department of Justice and its attached agencies. Katapang said the increase was necessary to strengthen medical services for the country's more than 50,000 inmates, many of whom suffer from chronic illnesses and poor living conditions. He also disclosed that the Bureau is pushing for a proposed medical parole bill, which seeks to grant parole to elderly and medically incapacitated inmates on humanitarian grounds.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Education will implement a wellness break for learners and teachers from October 27 to 30. This aims to give them a much-needed pause to recover from the strain of natural disasters and the spread of flu-like illnesses. DepEd said it would also give teachers recovery time and adjust the mid-year in-service training after the break. Education Chief Sonny Angara explained that during their visits to schools, they always hear requests from teachers to give them additional time to be with their family and take a rest.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Shaina, 12 IB earns combat ready certification after rigorous evaluation.
Yes, Rofh, the 12th Infantry Battalion has successfully completed the Philippine Army's Battalion Evaluation and Certification Program, earning its certification as a fully combat-ready unit. The 6 months program assessed the battalion's readiness, tactical proficiency, and leadership through intensive field operations and staff planning exercise at Camp Peralta, Capiz. Major General Michael Samson, commander of the 3rd Infantry Division, commended the unit's discipline and resilience and emphasized that true readiness is maintained daily through consistency and dedication. The 12 IB's certification marks a milestone in the transformation into a more capable, responsive, and mission-ready force for future operations. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, Senator Bong Aquino urged President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to certify as urgent the proposed Classroom Building Acceleration Program Act to address classroom backlog. Aquino cited the recent revelation of the Department of Public Works and Highways that only 22 out of its 1,700 target classrooms for 2025 have been completed. And filing Senate Bill 121 or the proposed CAPT Act, Aquino said the DPWH cannot address the problem alone. He added SB 121 would complement the President's directive to channel funds directly to local government unions to help expedite the construction of classrooms. The bill seeks to decentralize classroom construction by expanding the mandate beyond DPWH to include local government unions and non-government organizations with a proven track record.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police said all its personnel will be on heightened alert during the observance of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Acting PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartatas Jr. said the police personnel will be conducting mobile patrols, law enforcement checkpoints, area and route security, traffic management, and medical teams to ensure a coordinated and effective presence across the capital. Police assistance desks, inspection teams, and mobile patrols will be strategically positioned to guide the public, manage vehicular flow, and respond swiftly to emergencies. Meanwhile, Major General Anthony Abayren said all preparation is anchored on anticipation, coordination, and compassion. He added that even with simultaneous rallies expected across the region, their goal is to maintain peace without compromising the rights of the people.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Transportation has begun the demolition of the Metro Walk property in Ortigas, Pasig City. This marks a major step toward the construction of the Ortigas station of the Metro Manila subway project, which had been delayed for nearly 3 years. Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez said the development signified the resolve of the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to accelerate the construction of the country's first underground railway system. Lopez added the DOT are expediting the remaining right-of-way acquisitions so that construction can proceed smoothly.
DWDD National News.
A long-term sewerage and sanitation plan is being drafted by the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority and the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System. This aims to address waste management and flooding issues across the capital. MMDA Chairperson Don Artes said that his agency fully supports the MWSS Sewerage and Sanitation Roadmap, which outlines the region's water and sanitation goals from 2025 to 2047. Artes presented the MMDA's plan to build rainwater impounding facilities as a long-term flood control strategy to help reduce runoff and improve drainage in Metro Manila.
DWDD National News.
A Pasig City Court denied the plea of detained KOJC founder Pastor Apollo Quiboloy to be placed under hospital arrest. The court explained that his medical condition does not justify special treatment. Acting Presiding Judge Reynelda Estacio Montesa of Region Trial Court Branch 159 dismissed Quiboloy's motion for hospital arrest, for lack of merit and rendered moot the prosecution's motion for reconsideration of an order allowing Kibuloy to undergo medical examinations at the Philippine Heart Center. To recall, Kibuloy asked to be confined either at the Philippine Heart Center or the medical city, citing shortness of breath, fever, muscle pain, and cough while detained.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again next week for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.